The defendant and the victim in this matter, our boyfriend and girlfriend, cohabitated together. They got into an argument that night after she had come back from eating dinner. At some point he was punching her in the stomach and the face, and at one point he goes into the bathroom and gets a bottle of rubbing alcohol. He poured the bottle of rubbing alcohol on her head approximately 3 times. In the beginning, the victim thought that the defendant was trying to blind her, so she was covering her eyes, and she was asking him, not to do that. At some point, he gets a lighter and starts playing with the lighter around her. He continued to dump alcohol on her, and she, at that point in time, thought he was going to kill her. She begged him for her life, but at one point, the defendant decided that he was going to light her on fire. He had the lighter, the alcohol that he had dumped on her caught on fire. Her shirt was on fire. She eventually ran into the bathroom and was able to get the shirt off of her and get the burns, get the fire out. She then went to her car and called police. This defendant did, she said that he got some cocoa butter and also got some butter out of the refrigerator and attempted to put some stuff on her arm for her, begging her not to call the police. She had to eventually she went to the Trident Regional Medical Center. They sent her to the Augusta burn unit. She had to spend several days in the Augusta burn unit. She underwent 4 hours of surgery, had to have a breathing tube placed down her throat. She is now in the courtroom with us today. She's got gloves on her hands. She's got a temporary vest that she's wearing now, but she's had to special order a vest that's going to cover up her burns that go all the way up to her neck. Your Honor has seen photographs of the injuries. They were quite severe. The defendant, or the victim, is in grave fear for life. She's afraid that if he is allowed out on bond, he will come back to kill her.
We would argue that he's not a flight risk. He's a lifelong resident. He's here with his mother, his father, 2 other members of his family. His employer is also here. His name is Joseph Sumter, and he does work for him. Joseph Sumter owns a landscaping company, and Mr. Glenn works for him. And Mr. Sumter is just here to support him and let the court know that if he is released, that he does have a job that he can go back to. Your Honor, we would also argue that while this victim says she does fear for her life, outside of that, there is no danger to society. What I will submit to you, Your Honor, is that they live in different cities. My client lives in Bowman. It is my understanding that she lives in Santee. So we think this might be a case where GPS electronic monitoring might allow Mr. Glenn to get out to work and to help pay for his defense, and the monitoring will allow her to have any protection she may feel that she needs from him. Of course, Your Honor, you know and I know that at this point these are all allegations. My client has a different rendition of the facts, so we just ask that you would set a reasonable bond, Your Honor, that will allow him to get home and to go back to his job, and his family is not opposed, he's not opposed to being fully responsible for the cost of electronic monitoring.
I believe he's a danger to the community, and I think there's an eyeball